Since the start of this year, the ringgit has lost almost 10% of its value compared to the US dollar. Over the past 12 months, the figure is actually closer to 20%. Early last year, the ringgit was around 220, 230, and as of close of trade yesterday, the figure was above 4 ringgit. What accounts for this drop? Is it purely external factors such as the drop in oil and other commodity prices, which are normally priced in US dollars? Or is it, as many Malaysians believe, inextricably linked to political factors and economic factors within the country? Most importantly, is there a floor at which the ringgit will stabilize? Is it before 450? Where is the direction of the ringgit? Let me begin by saying that the size of the ringgit market is actually quite small compared to that of the other countries in the region. The currency is not internationally traded, and its value is set by a managed float using a basket of currencies, normally that of our trading partners, as a reference. The demand and the supply of ringgit therefore largely reflects the demand and supply for trade and investment, both direct and portfolio investments. Contrary to popular opinion, it is not easy to accumulate a large position of short or long positions in ringgit, and you can only do this in offshore market. Given these factors, it is to be expected that external factors such as commodity prices play a very large role in determining the value of the ringgit. So do foreign investors, which have been increasingly of importance of late, both by being buyers or sellers in our debt and equity markets. As investors anticipate the rise in the US dollar this September, we, along with most other countries, have seen the sale of local currency denominated assets, such as our equities and our bonds. Sales, however, of our US denominated assets continue to be in demand. The issue of creditworthiness, therefore, seems to be much less in doubt. However, the ringgit is sensitive to domestic developments. In June of this year, there was ringgit selling ahead of speculation that Malaysia would face a credit downgrade by one of the credit rating agencies. This did not happen, and the ringgit remained very much where it was. It didn't appreciate, significantly. So there is no doubt that domestic political situation does impact the value of the ringgit. How much? Well, normally political risks can be measured by the difference between what a currency's value would be purely if dictated by economic factors, and what it actually is. The difference being what we would term political risk. Many Malaysians today believe that the political tensions in this country contribute to the ringgit weakness. I must say I have not done the calculations, but would suspect, purely by observation of the trends, both the economic as well as the currency, that it would probably account for no more than a quarter of the deviation. If we take, for example, in the last 7 months, the ringgit has dropped around 50 cents to the US dollar. So this would account for about between 10 to 15 cents. Now, this is substantial in foreign exchange terms. But while political economic conditions contribute, they do not actually determine very much the currency value. Thailand's military takeover of a democratically elected government has not led to a precipitous drop in the value of the Thai baht, although it certainly has contributed to weakness. The determination is being done because the Thai baht is internationally traded. Its value is subject to both buyers and sellers, and this is what is also happening to the Malaysian ringgit. On the last question of whether there is a flaw, there are many things that Malaysia is not in control of. For example, oil markets, and even the demand for most of its major commodities. That lies in the hands of China and the Chinese. The important thing, however, is to ensure that there is confidence within the country so that foreign funds can flow back in at some point in the future, and it is only this that can ensure that there is some stability, some domestic flow that is within the control of the government to achieve.